G'day guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to my NFL week number 15 tips. In week 14 was actually my worst week all season. I only got 5 out of 15 tips correct. I think there was a couple of games where I got really close with the margin, but no exact margin from memory in the week just gone. I'm joined by RXYSV2, who's going to be on for the tips with me this week, something different. How did you go in week number 14?
So I got 6 out of 15.
One more than me. It was a very tough round, lots of upsets. You know, the Packers losing to the Giants. The Tennessee Titans coming back in the final 3 minutes by 14 down to win. So there's some really great games and there's some good games to look forward to this week. But let's break down NFL week number 15. At Allegiant Stadium on Friday at 12 o'clock. It's the Los Angeles Chargers who are coming off a loss playing, and they kind of got flogged by the Denver Broncos. You know, the scoreline was probably light compared to the game itself. And then the Las Vegas Raiders, who only lost 3-0. Their defense was good, but my God, really scrappy game, this one. You know, the Raiders being at home probably gives them that slight advantage. The Chargers haven't been playing that well. It's hard because the Chargers have actually lost Justin Herbert now, which makes it really interesting. They've still got some decent strike weapons outright, but I think the Raiders' defense, is better. I'm actually going to change my tip here. I've never done this before. I was going to go with the Chargers by 7. I'm actually going to change it. I reckon the Raiders will win this. The more I think of Herbert being out, I think it's such a big loss. I'm going to go the Las Vegas Raiders here to win by 4. I just think Herbert's a massive loss for mine. Who have you gone with?
All right, I've gone with, same with Aiden, but I've gone with Las Vegas Raiders by 2.
Yes, we both expect this one to be close, but we have got the Las Vegas Raiders taking the dub there. Next up, on Sunday, we have Sunday football. Do we have footy? Do we have games on Sunday? We do. We have games on Sunday here in Australia, which is Saturday for you guys in America. We've got the Cincinnati Bengals, who have gone back-to-back wins without Joe Burrow, going up against the Minnesota Vikings, who only won 3-0. The Bengals, a comprehensive job over the Indianapolis Colts. Bengals at home. I can't go past the Bengals here. I think they're still in a playoff potential position. They started to really slip away with a couple of losses, but they're playing really well. So I got the Bengals. As good as the Vikings were during that win streak, they've come back down to earth. Josh Dobbs looks to be dropped this week, which I don't really agree with that decision. But, I'm going to go the Cincinnati Bengals for mine by 8.
I'm going with, I'm going with the opposite in this one. I'm going with Minnesota Vikings by 8 in this one.
So we've both got a margin of 8, but Reese has obviously gone with the Vikings, and I've gone with the Bengals. All right, moving into Cleveland Browns Stadium, where the Cleveland Browns will take on the Chicago Bears. Now, the Bears have gone back-to-back wins. They had a great win over the Detroit Lions, who seem to be one of the benchmarks early on at the start of the year, really starting to drop off in recent weeks in that NFC opponents, and still a battle now for the NFC North as well, making it tough for Detroit. Cleveland Browns, I'm trying to think who they beat last week. I think it was the Jacksonville Jaguars by 4. In the end, they got the job done. You know, the Bears playing really well. They could really pull off an upset here. But at Cleveland Stadium, I think it's going to be too tough for the Bears. I think they can keep it to less than 14 plus, but I think it will get very close to that. I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns to win by 11. I just think they've got way too much to play for. Chicago Bears, if they win this game, they're still really within the hunt. But right now, I think the Browns just have way too much to play for, and they should get a nice home crowd here.
I've gone with Chicago Bears by 7.
Oh, he's got the Bears in an upset there. I mean, as I said, the Bears have won back-to-back games now. They could really ride into this game with a lot of confidence, but I just think the Cleveland Browns are going to be too good defensively there. Next up, very tough game to pick. The odds are not what I expected to be. The Denver Broncos are paying $2.80. Detroit Lions at home, $1.44. Now, the Lions have obviously gone kind of win-loss in recent weeks after the 3-win streak earlier in the year. And the Denver Broncos, their streak came to an end a few weeks ago, but then they got back in the winners board this week. Look, The Detroit Lions seem to be a team that can bounce back. Sometimes they can do it in style, and sometimes they can seem like they're going to lose the game and come back to win it. They seem to never be out of the fight. And for mine, as much as I like the Denver Broncos this season, I think the Detroit Lions are going to win this one. I think it's going to be very, very tight. It's going to be another kind of get-out-of-jail situation. But I have the Detroit Lions winning by 2.
I have Detroit Lions by 6.
So Detroit by, a closer margin, close game, entertaining there. I think that should be a really, really good game Sunday at 11 a.m. Also on Sunday, it is the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Steelers have lost their last 2 games. Reese is a Steelers supporter, so he really wants this win, especially to stay within the AFC playoff battle. And then the Colts, they had that 4-game win streak heading into a 5th-game win streak, and they obviously lost that game quite bad as well against the Bengals the other day. With this game, as much as I think the Steelers can bounce back, I think the Colts are just too good to go on a losing streak and miss the playoffs. They just have been playing pretty well all year. And yeah, I think the Colts at home are going to be too good for the Steelers, unfortunately, man. I got the Colts winning by 6 points.
I've got my Pittsburgh Steelers by 7 in this one.
So very tight game we both expect there. I've gone with the Colts, Reese with the Steelers. Next up at Bank of America Stadium in Charlotte is the Carolina Panthers, who have lost their last 6 games in a row, taking on the Atlanta Falcons, who lost their game last week. I can't remember who they lost to. I'm sorry. Might have been... No, it wasn't New Orleans. I can't remember. But they lost after winning back-to-back games. Started to get themselves into a potential playoff spot. Now they make it tough for themselves. Going on the road here against the Carolina team that's been okay at home as well. I think the Falcons win this though. I know the odds suggest that the Panthers are going to really put in a fight, and I think we're going to see that, but I think that the Falcons should win by at least 6.
I got Falcons by 10 in this one.
So he thinks the Falcons win by more than 6 there, but yeah, we both have it being that 1-13 margin for Atlanta. On Monday, it is the Green Bay Packers at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Bucs have gone back-to-back wins. Packers had a 3-game win streak, then lost to the Giants. And, Green Bay at home gets really cold there. The conditions get tough. Tampa's had some nice wins. Can they keep it going? I think they can. I'm going to go an upset here. I'm going to go the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to head to Lambeau Field and come away with the chocolates. Understand the Packers were playing good in recent weeks, but I think we saw how bad they were at the start of the year, and there was pretty poor performance against the Giants. So, yeah, I think the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to make it 3 straight here in an upset. I got Tampa Bay by 5.
I got Green Bay Packers by 10 in this one too.
So you got the Packers at home winning by a decent margin there too. Next up, this is a very tough game to pick. It is the Houston Texans heading to Nashville to take on the Tennessee Titans. Now, the Texans have been a much better team this season, but what Tennessee pulled out the other day, where there's a will, there's a way, haha, if you get it. But what they were able to do towards the end of that game, my God, they look like a powerhouse and could go on a bit of a run here potentially if that form stays that way. As for the Texans, they're coming off a weird loss, 27-6, I think it was, against the New York Jets. No one saw that coming. They're on the road here, coming off a loss. They had a nice win streak, and then it was win, loss, win. Gonna go the Houston Texans in a close one here. I think the Tennessee Titans have some fight in them. I think this will be something like a 27-20, and I got the Houston Texans winning by 7.
I got Houston Texans by 11.
So a bigger margin than mine. You've got more trust than me with the Houston Texans, who I think will be there in the AFC playoffs. Next up on Monday at 5 a.m, it is the Miami Dolphins taking on the New York Jets. Now, Tyreek Hill, really worried about Tyreek Hill. They lost Tyreek Hill in the game the other day. Got exposed towards the end there defensively by the Tennessee Titans. Been a great offensive team all year, but it's interesting, they haven't really played anyone, and the Jets aren't really anyone. Sorry, Jets fans. But I think Miami win. I think Miami at home will be too good. I could see them putting on a score, but I'll go 13. I'll go a lower end score, but I think Miami should bounce back in this game against the Jets.
I've gone with Miami Dolphins by 10.
Yeah, so we've both got a closer game there, but I just don't see the Jets getting a upset win there like last week. Now, this is a bit of a tough game to read. It's at New Orleans. It's the Saints taking on the Giants. Now, the Giants are chasing their 4th straight win. Really in some nice form, the Giants at the moment. And the New Orleans Saints, they went into that game chasing their 4th straight loss, and they got a nice win against the Carolina Panthers. It's tough because the Giants have been playing really, really well. So I kind of want to pick them. But I just think the Saints' defense is much better. And I think at home, they should be able to get a decent win. I got the Saints here by 12, but I wouldn't be surprised if this is a much closer game and even an upset where the Giants get their 4th straight win.
I'm going with New Orleans Saints by 10.
Yeah, so close margin there as well for the Saints. Then we head to SoFi Stadium for the Los Angeles Rams taking on the Washington Commanders. The Rams played a thriller with, one of the best teams in the AFC, if not the best team, the Baltimore Ravens, just losing the game in overtime off a pick. And then the Washington Commanders, they're down the barrel of 5 straight losses. They need to show something for the fans because they have fallen off a cliff. The Rams, but they're playing really, really well. They're at home. They're a powerhouse right now. They're looking for a spot in the playoffs. Still a chance. I got the Rams here by a big margin. Teams are destroying Washington. Can't see this being close. Los Angeles Rams are mine by 15.
I've gone with Los Angeles Rams by 10.
Yeah, a little bit of a closer scoreline there for you, but we've both gone the Rams for that tip. Next up, this is going to be a bludger of a game. It is the Arizona Cardinals at home taking on the San Francisco 49ers. The Cardinals are coming off a win. I can't remember who it was against. I think they had the bye last week, if I'm not mistaken. And then the 49ers are obviously chasing their 6th straight win. They're the best team in the NFC. You could argue the Dallas Cowboys are up there as well. Obviously, Philly's kind of dropped off. And the San Francisco 49ers are just dismantling teams. I think the 49ers on the road are going to get a massive win. I'm going to go the 49ers by 21. They're just playing way too good for mine right now.
I've gone with 49ers by 10.
I think that's a more respectable margin, especially being in Arizona. You think it should be closer. Yep. But, man, I don't rate Arizona at all. And the 49ers, I rate highly. Then we head to Buffalo at 8:25. Really looking forward to this game between the Buffalo Bills and the Dallas Cowboys. Now, the Buffalo Bills have been kind of win-loss in recent weeks, whereas the Dallas Cowboys are chasing their 6th straight win. Their offense, their defense, it's all working, and they are looking like an absolute contender coming into these playoffs. They go into this game as underdogs. Obviously, playing in Buffalo is always tough. Buffalo got the win over Kansas City. Dallas destroyed Philly. I'm going Dallas. I'm going the Dallas Cowboys by 10 points. I know they're underdogs going into the game. They're playing way too good for mine. I'm going the Dallas Cowboys to win by 10.
Oh, you got a closer one than me. I got Dallas Cowboys by 11.
There you go. We've both got the Cowboys upsetting, according to the odds, the Buffalo Bills. They, when teams seem to go on a win streak, they often do lose once. That's probably why it's expected. But the Dallas Cowboys are flying right now. As we get into the last couple games, at 8:25 on Monday, it's the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, it's 4 straight losses for the Seahawks, which is really worrying, and they seem to almost be out of the playoffs picture, considering their start of the year. They go at home to a team that's really struggling in the Philadelphia Eagles. Their defense is trash. It's been trash all year. I said at the start of the year that I didn't know if I trusted their defense, but their offense is still good. Look, Seattle are going to really give it to them, and Seattle played pretty well for the most part against the Niners. They could get this win at home, but for me, I think Philly win in a very, very tight game. I'm actually going to go the Philadelphia Eagles to win by 2 because I think that this game will be very tight, and I could see the Seattle Seahawks putting up that plus 4.5 as a bet.
I'll go with Philadelphia by 12.
Wow, so you've got more trust in the Eagles. The last 2 weeks against decent opponents, I picked them. They get destroyed, so they can piss off right now. Monday, 12:20, it is the Jacksonville Jaguars at home taking on the Baltimore Ravens. Now, the Ravens have won 6 of their last 7 games, and from 7 games, it has been 4 wins for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Back-to-back losses. They had Trevor Lawrence the other day. They obviously didn't before that. They're probably going to have Trevor Lawrence here as well. But the Baltimore Ravens, they're playing like a really good team. I think this win is very important for both of these teams. for they're trying to get the number 1 seed for Baltimore, and then the Jacksonville Jaguars trying to secure themselves kind of a home game as well. I think the Baltimore Ravens win for mine. I'm going to go the Baltimore Ravens by 8.
Oh, I've gone with the opposite one. I've gone with Jacksonville Jaguars by 6.
Got a bit of an upset there. He likes Trevor Lawrence to beat out Lamar Jackson in that battle there in the AFC. All right, and the final game on Tuesday sees the Kansas City Chiefs head to Gillette Stadium, taking on the New England Patriots. Now, the Patriots got the win against your Steelers and then had the bye. Now they take on the Chiefs, who have gone back-to-back losses, where without our running back, Isaiah Pacheco, the Chiefs are going to bounce back here, man. The Chiefs are a great team. We're going to bounce back. I'm probably talking really biased right now. Honestly, really worried about the way that we've been playing, but I think we should get this win on the road. I'll go the Kansas City Chiefs by 15, even though my gut tells me it will most likely be a bit closer.
I'm going with your team by 6 points.
Yes, obviously a respectable margin for the home side there, but we've both gone for Kansas City. So just to recap, my tips are the Vegas Raiders, Cincinnati Bengals, Cleveland Browns, Detroit Lions, Indianapolis Colts, Atlanta Falcons, Tampa Bay, Houston Texans, Miami Dolphins, Saints, Rams, Niners, Cowboys, Eagles, Ravens, and the Chiefs. And then Reese has gone with
Las Vegas Raiders by 2, Minnesota Vikings by 8, Chicago Bears by 7, Detroit Lions by 6, Pittsburgh Steelers by 7, Atlanta Falcons by 10, Green Bay Packers by 10, Houston Texans by 11, Miami Dolphins by 10, New Orleans Saints by 10, Los Angeles Rams by 10, San Francisco 49ers by 10, Dallas Cowboys by 11, Philadelphia by 12, Jacksonville Jaguars by 6, and your team, Kansas City Chiefs, by 6.
Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you check out RXYSV2 over on YouTube. He is looking at doing some more NFL content coming into the NRL off-season, as well as tipping next year. We always watch the Super Bowl together, and we have lots of fun. When the Steelers take on the Chiefs, it's always a good one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Let me know your tips in the comments, and check out in the description, I have included my predictions for the Super Bowl. Take care, guys, and I'll see you guys next time.